Thanks, Richard. Nearly 20 years ago, America changed forever. The morning of September 11, 2001, America was under attack. Planes flew into the World Trade Center, leaving thousands dead. WVUA 23's Jabari Pruitt sat down with a man who lived just miles from the World Trade Center. Jabari, he takes us back to that tragic day with his own eyes.
That's right, Tamika. Lars Anderson, senior instructor for the University of Alabama and best-selling author, said he was horrified after the second plane was flown through the Twin Tower. It was the deadliest attack ever on our American soil. 2,977 Americans lost their lives on September 11, 2001, the day al-Qaeda hijackers flew planes into the World Trade Center towers. America changed forever. UA professor Lars Anderson and best-selling author and his wife lived just miles away from the World Trade Center when it fell victim to a terror attack. He takes us back to that tragic day.
Early that morning, she had to get some dry cleaning just right around the corner and was bringing it back to the apartment. And when she got back to our place, she said that when she had just heard people on the street, literally on the street, saying that the World Trade Center was on fire.
Professor Anderson said he then turned the TV on, and soon after, the second plane flew through the second Twin Tower. The impact left a gaping, burning hole near the 80th floor of the 110-story skyscraper.
And so I went up on my roof because I was on the top floor of a brownstone building, again on 89th and Central Park West. I could see the smoke rising and just horrified by it.
That's when he said the realization hit. America was under attack.
It was horrible. I had many friends working in the World Trade Center. My college roommate worked in the World Trade Center, and he worked high. He worked above. He was in the hundreds, right, in terms of the floor. And we had just been together the night before. And this is a tough story, but he ended up surviving because he ended up staying out very late that night, and he didn't get into work until late, and he ended up losing, I think, 60 of his colleagues.
Millions of Americans from around the world watched the events unfold in New York and Washington, D.C. before crashing into the west side of the Pentagon military headquarters. 125 military personnel and civilians were killed in the Pentagon, along with 64 people aboard the airliner. Lars said after the attacks were over,
you would see all these businessmen and businesswomen just covered in soot and walking through Central Park because they were making their way up to Connecticut to their homes.
20 years later,
to this day, 20 years later, we are still feeling the practical ramifications of 9/11 just in air travel and in other aspects of our life.
Now, Tamika, while I was interviewing Professor Anderson, I could tell he was having a hard time just getting through this interview. Now, he said it's still so hard when he visits New York and look at the monuments and just being in that area. Now, the official 20-year anniversary is this coming Saturday. Tamika?